Hey there, welcome back to the table. We're going to start Epoch 2, and England is going first this time. So let's do a quick recap of where we're at and how things are going to change. Victory points, by the way, just keep accumulating. You don't really calculate them until the end of the game. So there's nothing really to track there. Um, the Just a reminder that cities really are those are 4 victory points, so those are actually quite powerful. We learned at the end of the game that when you run out of cubes, there's actually very limited options to get more cubes added. So I thought you got additional cubes every epoch. That is not the case. So I'm starting to feel like this map is actually plenty big because, even though I said these guys are going to be warmongers, if they try to attack other people, I mean, you're taking away from other places. I do have 2 more cubes, but I'm sort of thinking that I want to go after, maybe some resources. So, anyways, all I'm trying to get at is with the limited cubes and some of the choices for governments, it does actually make the map not as bad as my initial impressions. But if you do move up, you get 4 here, 2 more here, and 3 more here. You are getting a lot of cubes going up this right side. The left side, not so much. And that makes me actually think maybe England should have gone up the middle, but they're actually not doing bad. They're getting great culture. They're scoring points. It's just not in the ways that, that maybe I originally planned. So first things first, in the Era 2 or Epoch 2, we have Fertilizer, which is gain a bunch of stuff, and it's going to reward you for desert and plains, and then you're going to gain even more stuff. So this is a big gain card. The Compass is more gains, and this is where we're getting into like, do you have cities built, things of that nature. The Architecture is going to reward you for having wonders built, and Geography gives you a free expand, and if you expand you gain a science, and that's for the rest of the game. So that can be pretty good. It's a little engine building item. And then England itself, we have 3 unlocks here. So this one is that you can get 3 of this or that, and as you can see, like, you could choose this, and you get to change it at any time in the game. So if, for example, I do get this all the way up, I can then choose to move that one up instead. Here you gain the English longbow and 2 food, and then here you may expand across the sea, and you have advantage if you attack across the sea. And then lastly, if we can wait until the final epoch, we can spend 1 cube to convert 2 production into 5 food or 4 science. Okay, so first thing I want to do is let's look at our longbow. There's no maintenance, which is nice. It's got a mountain bonus, and it has that formation. All results of 0 and 4 change to 2. So if you roll a 4, it gets reduced. But if you roll a 0, it gets increased. And there's only 1 4 on the die. I think there's 2 zeros. So odds are in your favor. And look, we got a hoplite, and actually we have a formation match. So let's go ahead and start their turn. First thing they do is they grab an Era 3 invention. Let's make sure that's shuffled. So that comes up, and that is each city has -2 consumption, so it's going to be easier to pay your maintenance on your cities. That's actually pretty good. What else do they got? They have, so if they do a science, they gain a gold. Now remember, they have some science synergies going on here. Here you get the higher level reward, so that's interesting. Here, when you expand in the forest, you gain 2 science. And at the end of the game, you get 2 points if you have all kinds of terrain. I'm assuming, you have cubes in all kinds of terrain. Another Compass. Engineering, gain 1 production per desert and mountain. We have 2 of those, and then here we gain, and it provides 2 boxes, which they could use for sure. And England does have the possibility they're going to be on 2 mountains. They did not build this city on the water. We built it actually in the middle of these 3. But I think, yeah. So one of their priorities is they do want to take this cube out, and they do want longbow. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to unlock the English longbow and gain 2 food. The 2 food is very helpful because that'll help them with any expansions they plan. And then the longbow is just excellent because it's going to synergize with the hoplite there. So now they have 6 strength, and this actually makes it a 7th because they have the formations matching. And England is now moving up. They can actually take out neutral cities if they want. They can for sure defend themselves. They're doing great. So a couple of things we want to do. We want to take out that barbarian. These 2 cities alone will allow us, or these 2 cubes will allow us to build a city right here. Because you only need 2 along the river or water. So we're going to try that. And then I would like to get something here so we can get more demand. And we may want mercantilism. It's a good, I can see the power behind this. It does cost 4 food to enact. We only have 2. I'm not sure we need it because with our cards here, I can do this one, which gives us 2. And so that'll move this up 2 more to a 5 at least, which is pretty good. The extra city or trade is going to move this up to 7. And then, you know, it's just a matter of everything else from there. So do we want to invent, or do we want to do 2 actions right now? Well, we don't have a lot of resources. So if we invent, we get more resources. And I like the idea of the bazaar to start out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're just going to cover it like this. And so that's our second card. And we immediately gain a food. And so does the player to our left. And they got a ton of food already. And then we're going to gain a food, a production, and a gold. So another food, a production, and a gold. And then it provides 2 of these boxes, and we get 1 action. So I would love to do a research action, but I actually don't have any research. We're sitting here on federalism. Can we move up to libertarianism? We need to have 14. I don't think we have enough. Yeah, we're sitting on 8. So nothing we can do there. We can generate 2 science though by doing this production action. And I think that's what I'm going to do because we have a bunch of food, yes. We do have the ability to expand. So we could spend 1 food to expand somewhere. I just don't know where. Like we could go here, that's for sure. I don't think we can have a city here and another one here. I think they have to be 2 spaces away. So that's one of the issues with your city management is you got to spread them out. And we can get to the actions here and look it up. So there's build a wonder, trading post, expand. Here we go, build a city. If there's a city already on any adjacent corners, you cannot build a city there. So if you're here and you're just going down 1 path, you can't build another. You can build a city that touches the sea. You cannot build a city on the boundary of the map either. That makes sense. Okay, so getting back to our situation, if I put a cube here, yeah, so you got a city there and another one there, that's not allowed. However, if I put a cube here, I can have a city here, but I already with a cube here can have a city there. So I think ideally I would like a cube here because this is still a marker we can grab. Okay, not enough cubes. I have 2 cubes. One of them is going to be to take that barbarian, and then I got one more. Well, I think what that tells me is I don't want to do an expand action right now. I want to do a produce, and we'll produce 2 science. We have this ability here, which is going to help us. We have a card that every time we do a science action, we're going to gain a gold. I think there's some really nice synergies we got coming our way with that, and that's going to be good. All right, so their turn's over. Oh, I forgot to do one thing on their turn. We had to draw for the market. So we drew a knight. So that means this chariot's gone. Everything moves up, and the knight moves up. And technically those are up too. Alright, so now we're caught up. Oh, I do like this game. It's there's some nice thinking going on. Obviously playing 4 different players is a bit much, but I would like to see what this would be like with my gaming group. Some definite interesting things. I can see some people complaining about, you know, how the cubes are limiting and stuff like that, but I also think that's good because I think this game favors warmongers if you had unlimited cubes. And technically, you know, they have the opportunity to get 5 more cubes here. So the warmonger thing is a huge possibility of still causing a lot of problems. Alright, so we drew our card. We're going to draw our... Whoops. Let's draw one of these. We got the Taj Mahal. 7 production, 4 culture. When you gain a cube, also gain a food. That could be useful, but they don't have anywhere close to 7 production. They drew the stock market. Well, look at that. 2 production. Gain gold depending on trade income, and gain 3 more production. Alright, so what do these guys want to do? This is if you build a city, gain a culture. They actually have the ability to build quite a few cities with the number of cubes they have out there. This one you may expand, and if you ever expand, you gain a science. That could be really powerful, because if this goes with the other expand options we have, they could be gaining food and science every time they expand. Expand into forests, get them 2. Research has -1 science cost. Interesting. Here, 2 points if you have 6 or more. They're at 5. This one rewards you for having trade stations, and they may not end up doing those. This one you just straight up get 3 science. If you have iron, your military upgrade has -1 science cost. That could be helpful to them. Do they have iron? They do not. They have horses. So that actually could be an issue. And then of course they do want to expand and take that. I think they do. They got to get the handshake up. So that means building cities or doing trade routes, which we haven't been considering. If they want to conquer these cities, which they've been trying to do, they could build a city in this cluster, and it looks like another city can be built in this cluster, because you got 1, 2 away, right? 3 away. And then here they could go 1, 2, 3 away and build another city. And then there could even be another city here with 1, 2 phases. They got the ability to get a lot of points. They don't necessarily have to conquer other players to pull it off. They could take this city here as well, you know, because this is located here. Yeah, there's a lot of options here for them. They need a lot of production points to build cities. They need research points to upgrade their military. Right now, this is not enough to conquer a city. So let's look at what their military options are. Not sure the basic ones I think are okay, but they're not ideal. These are more helpful for people who are defending. These, of course, are last era. This is our current era. So here you can see this is a cost of 4, but if you don't have iron, that's going to be 2 more. They do have the horses. So the knight does look powerful. It's a really nice upgrade. Um, does have a maintenance cost that's not food. I think for now they're okay. They might want the terracotta army. That would be nice to get them. Look, that's an opportunity to get more cubes. So that's something to consider. But they need resources. They have a bunch of food and nothing else. So I think we should start off with. This one was fantastic, but they don't have iron. So I think we should. The geography looks like it would help them, and it does give them a production. This, I guess, will help. I mean, I don't know how much they need. Culture still points, even though they're not really focusing on culture. Or they're grabbing something from here. Okay, so they need production. Lots and lots of production if they're going to build those cities we're talking about. The expansion, of course, always an option. Production will help them to put out trade stations, even though if they attack a city, they lose those trade stations. I think we're going to do geography because I think by expanding and gaining a science, that's a good thing for them. So we're going to do that. That gives them the production that we're talking about that they're looking for. So one production for them and then one for the player to their left. And that's good. And then for their one action, they are going to expand because they have quite a few cubes here. Well, two. And they're going to expand to we'll do that location, and then we'll expand again to this one. Take that luxury resource. Now I do have the option to pull back something. I think right now I don't know, I'm feeling okay. Like I like the way everything is structured. I could actually get a city here and another city there, and another one there. So like you can see, I got a lot of opportunities for cities here. So we'll do that, and that moves this up again, two more. So they got a ton of supply, but no demand at this point. And if they can just get those cities up, they'll be on their way. So we did that. We did the expand. Each expansion gives them a science, which is going to help them. And if they could ever build a city, they gain a production back, which is also nice. But the two expands gives them 2 research. That'll help them with their unit upgrades that they need to do later. Okay, not a bad turn for them. I'm okay with that. Now we're moving on to France. France gets their card. This one is the internet. Oh, look at that. 2 science. You may spend 7 to gain 3 gold and 7 culture. Ooh. France is sitting at almost no culture. Let's see what we're getting here. Alright, so the longbowman, not the English longbowman, but the regular one, has come out. Move these up. They got that formation we were talking about. England, yeah, the English one has this little special ability, and the bonus on the mountain, which I need to make sure we mark on the board. So England also has a mountain bonus. And then the regular longbowman that we just drew has all the same features, except it doesn't have the special ability. So, okay, that makes sense. Now this pairs nicely with the pikeman. And I don't know who France has, so let's check them. They're sitting on the mountain warrior, which doesn't have a formation. The longbowman, of course, wouldn't give them a synergy, but it would give them another mountain bonus. I don't know how much we need to go all in on the mountain thing, but they do have 1 cube. And I think once we get our 2, we're going to go up the middle here so we get additional cubes for France so they can expand some more. Also, France has the Crusades and art collection. This gains them an art. They were the one race that did not get an art. So this is sort of counterproductive for us. But it does say when you upgrade your government, you gain a gold. That can be helpful. This one, you just gain the Chevaliers, and you gain a gold, but it costs you 2 food. These two come later, so these are endgame items. Let's check out their Chevaliers. I don't know how well that's going to work with our mountain theme, but let's try. They get a plains bonus and a city bonus. They get that formation. They gain 1 culture when it is replaced. And it's 6 power, but they have to have production. So the coming up with these discs so you can pay for these is where I have my struggle. Like, where's the engine that I get to make production? That's the piece I'm struggling with. I know we gain a production every time we expand into a mountain. Here we're going to gain 2 production. Alright, let's look at what we got. We got, this is just a gain. Look at that. We're gaining 3 production there. That's a really nice resource gathering one. This one's good for science. We got 2 windmills. So if we want to go nuts, we can get a lot of food and production for France. All military formations are compatible with each other. That's an interesting one. Then we can take the Chevaliers. The question is, you know, obviously the Mountain Warrior, it's very helpful to them, but we'd have to replace them. But now, okay, so we got the Chevalier, which has this formation, but then we can get like the Longbowman, or some which has a mountain bonus. And even though the formations aren't identical, if we use that card, now we can combine those and still get the bonus. So then France can have a pretty strong army. That's not horrible. I'm assuming that it says, when it says all formations get along with each other, that these that have no formation at all don't count. The card, of course, doesn't clarify, and I don't think the rules do either. I'm really enamored with the just gain a bunch of resources. Even though that doesn't help you with your engine building, it helps just to kickstart your economy, right? They don't have a lot of gold. I'm still eyeing this up. If I get 3 food, that helps me just grab the Chevaliers straight off the bat. All this production is going to help me pay for those Chevaliers. Again, and then we can expand because we have the 1 cube here. If we can get the culture up, see, they're still sitting on 1. They need to move up 1 more, and then they could get some additional cubes, and then they can expand into those mountains, get a bunch more production. There's a nice little trade bonus here. They have a lot of expansion they can do that'll help them. So let me think about this. Yeah, this military science thing I was eyeing up gets them that. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that one first. We're going to do military science, and that gives them a research. And the player to their left gets a research. That's good. And then they gain a production, a research, and a culture. So the culture gives them the boost that they're looking for, and then another production and another research for France. So that's really nice. And then now they got the other bonus as well. So we can unlock the Chevaliers. I think for now I don't want to because, well, first, I don't have the 2 food. Second, I don't want to be paying a production every round yet. Let's get a bunch of production built up, and then we can consider it. And actually, I think I want to do the government as an action. I also was contemplating, should we expand? And my answer is no. I want to do the government. We're going to spend this to go up here. That gets us a gold and 3 more cubes. And then at the end of each epoch, it's a 2-to-1 conversion, but I, I mean, if that's what we stay with, then that's fine. I want to keep going up if I can. But yeah, so we get 1 gold and 3 cubes. The 3 cubes is the big one. So now they have a lot of room for expansion. And let's grab the gold. That helps them as well. Alright, nice turn for them. Now we move. Oh, military. Did any of these guys want to do military stuff? No. 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 England wanted to attack that barbarian. England now has 7 strength. They have more than enough to destroy the barbarian. And then that allows them to expand here. Like so. Okay, now we get to Egypt. And Egypt draws their card. They got industrialization. And let's do the market. A javelin thrower, which looks like it's just an upgrade to the slinger we just got rid of. Look at that. That's an upgrade to the Aztec one, the Jaguar. Look at that. If you're in the forest, you're just balling it right there. Okay, so they have this one. It's interesting. They do a science action. They're going to gain a gold. I like the military science one for them. It, you know, if they ever were to upgrade their axemen here, because they are in a sorry situation, they don't have to worry about formations matching. Never bad. This one I think is super nice for them. Look at this. You get, for every plain and desert, they gain a food. And right now they are in nothing but plains and desert everywhere. They do need more cubes. That's one of their biggest issue. They're sitting here with, they could build a city here, and there's an expansion there and another one there that would help them. But so far, and then yeah, they got their trade routes out. They have bonuses as they expand in the plains. Yeah, and they went after the production stuff. So, they, just like everybody else, it'd be nice to accumulate some resources. So I don't think they want to do 2 actions at this point. So which one should they do? I do think they need to worry about their military strength, at least at some level. I think this one's going to help them get a lot of so how are they doing? They're not at 8 yet. This will help them. So if they build a wonder, they gain a science. Wonders require lots of production. This one, you start a trade route or trade node. You gain a food and a gold. If you have 6 or more, you get 2 points. They're sitting at 5. What kind of trade node opportunities do they have here? They could get one here. That would get them to their 6. That's a nice one too. So goods management. I like fertilizer. And then we're just choosing one of these two. They don't have iron. Okay, well for now we're going to do fertilizer. So that gets them a food. Oh, went the wrong way. And a player to their left gets a food. So England's now rolling in the food. And then they gain a food per each of those regions and then 2 production. So 1, 2, 3, they're going to gain 4 more food. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to get 2 production. So that gives them a lot of opportunities there. So they have no cubes, so they can't expand. But what action are they going to do? They don't have the 8 to get here. They do have the maximum distance of a land route here. So we're going to pay 1 production to get the land route thing going. And what that means is they just take their little trade node here, and they're going to add a trade to this. I actually like the idea that it sits on top. Alright, so that goes there, and that gives them 2 more on the handshake. So that puts them up to 6. So that's pretty good for them. And yeah, that's their turn. Do they want to do anything militarily? They need research to upgrade, and there's definitely nothing to attack. They are next to them, so if they really want to warmonger and take this, they could. The problem is other than taking an honor token, which is a victory point, it's not like that territory helps them. I hate to say this, but it's almost like the Mongolians had their aggressive nature beaten out of them, and now they're going to be a little bit more domestic. It just makes sense. I don't know. I know I said that their AI was they're going to be aggressive. I just don't know if being aggressive now is beneficial other than conquering these cities. Right? So if they conquer this city, yellow gets this back. But the nice thing is that city's going to be worth 4 points for them at the end of the game. But like I'm at a point now where I'm like, well, why would I not build cities everywhere else and then just start, 4, 8, 12, 16. All those cities are worth way more points than conquering that 1 cube and getting an honor token. So, anyway, that's where my thoughts are. We're back to England. We're now to round 2. So, got electronics. Heavy infantry comes out. We now have all Epoch 2 cards. Heavy infantry has 2 different formations. Not bad, not bad. And I mean, we could try to upgrade, but the hoplight's actually pretty good. I like the fact that they're sitting at 7. I think they're quite happy with that. They got a lot of food. They can expand once. What does England want to do? They don't have to always invent. They could just say, hey, we're going to do 2 actions. I think they want to build a wonder. And the reason is they need more cubes. And that's the only way they're going to get more cubes is to build a wonder. So what can they do to help them get there? So these engineering ones aren't horrible. I think they want to do a compass. But not until they have a city adjacent to water. I think we were talking about this one just because they have that research bonus. But this is, how many desert and mountains do they have? They have 2 mountains, so they would get 2. They would get 2 more production. So that would give them 3 production, which would then let them get to a point where they could build a wonder. And they want to choose a wonder that's going to get them cubes, because they only have 1. So if we look at our situation here, like Taj Mahal is out. Terracotta Army, though, I mean, it's not that it doesn't help them. That gives them 2 cubes. It's a very cheap cost. It's not horrible. This one, they want to build some cities, so this actually is a nice option, but you're only going to gain 1 cube for it. There's some trade-off there. It's more expensive as well. This gives us 2 cubes. That gives us 1. But this discount is handy. A lot more handy than this one will be. Um, ooh, that's very interesting. We could spend gold to get to whatever level we need, but I think I like the idea of playing the engineering card. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and so that gives us a production. And the player to our left gets one. And then I think we get 2 more production because of the mountains. So as you can see, we're up to 4. And we're going to gain a science. Alright, so lots of options here. We can expand. We can build the wonder now. Can't do government. We could build a city now. I don't know if I want to build that city exactly right now because I don't think I have any bonuses that happen if I build a city. See right here. Nope, that's just a one-time bonus. We could do trade stuff. We could do the research action. That's the only thing that I would really even consider doing besides building the wonder. So we can come here and spend 2 science, and instead of getting this bonus, I can grab this one, which is 4 production. Oh, I actually like that idea. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to spend 2 science and take 4 production. And remember, the reason I get to do that is because of this. So here's the 2 science. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We will use these production. Don't you worry. And I know you could get the ×5 or whatever, but I'm not interested in that at this point. And I don't necessarily need to invent next time. We're going to go for 2 actions or something. But yeah, that's good. So now we move to the next player. What is that? Food service. Get this out. So this does cause the hanging gardens to go away, which I'm not crying too much about. This is still another opportunity to get a cube. 1 per 2 mountains, so that would be actually worth a victory point. So not a horrible one, although France might want to go for it. And we can gain the Keshik. I forgot about this. So we could spend our cube to gain one of those. This one you have to be in Warmonger mode. You can remove and replace 1 cube of each rival. So basically you just automatically win the battle. And in here you just gain a point for every 2 planes, which I think I do want to save for. Well, let me think about this. What does a Keshik look like? They have a 3 and really nice bonuses. They can attack across any terrain. So they get 1 more. I don't even know what that means. I do know that when you have the horse, that lets you, like for the plane, they can attack across. Like they don't have to be adjacent. They can just go, you know, if you were here, they could just attack across all the planes and attack you way over here. So the question is, do we want the Keshik? And we currently have the horse archer and the horseman that has a food upkeep. The Keshik is a support unit that has no upkeep. It has 3 bonuses, whereas this only has 1. I'm sorry, wrong one. This has 1. So it is a superior upgrade to this one thing. It's just a question of, do I want to get rid of this, which will give me some victory points, especially with the number of cubes we're going to eventually have. I don't know, and that does give me another cube. Well, I don't know. I'm actually in analysis paralysis with this. I don't have to make that decision right now. I do think, though, I need to upgrade my military to... Yeah, I'm doing it. So we're going to spend the cube, gain the Keshik, and that lets us gain a cube for expansion purposes. And the Keshik is going to help us because we're going to overwrite that one, which was a 1. So now we have 3, 6, 7 military strength. And 7 military strength, we just need a 1 to be able to defeat a neutral city. So we can conquer cities and get the points that way. And in addition, we can build cities because I'm trying to get my production up to do that. So now the question becomes, what am I going to do? Am I going to invent? Or I can do 2 actions. This is interesting because if I don't conquer the neutral cities, I can send trade routes to them and get some pretty decent goods. This is 2 victory points. I'm already over 6 as it is. And getting the trade routes is going to move this up. There's just a lot of pressure to stop being a warmonger, is where I'm going. And maybe that's what we should do. We should just stop. There's some really nice cards here. This one would be nice as well. So if I'm looking at the 3 to build, it would be this one and then this one. And only because I know we're trying to build a bunch of cities. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's making them become passive, or yeah, pacifistic. Embrace pacifism. So we're going to grab one of those, and the player to our left gets one. And we gain an action. So we can spend just 1 production. And I mean, it's not against the rules to play as the Mongols and be peaceful. So we could do that, and what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these trade routes out. And as you can see, we're right next to this one, and we're next to that one. Because remember, it's here. It's not in the water. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. And so by placing that there for 1, it's just a land route. That gives us 2 on this track, which now puts us on the board. And it actually helps immensely. And then you can see we gain another food and a gold for doing that, which, that's powerful. Another food and a gold. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to keep a little bank here. And they have 5 food. Yeah, we'll do that. And you can see they got some extra cities they can build, which we're going to try to get up as soon as we can get more production going. And we will. It's going to take some time. Or if anything, they could just use gold to get that production. But that's good. Alright, moving on. France. Get their card. Do the market thing. The Berserker comes out. The Knight's gone. classical Viking attacking across water. Not as attractive for anybody. But let's see what France is going to do here. I think we really like the idea of the windmills for them. It gives them a whole bunch of resources, production resources, so they could build a wonder. The only thing that's lacking is if they could get some science, that helps them to upgrade their troops, and then this gives them a troop upgrade where they gain a science every time they do an upgrade and every time they build a wonder. So as much as I would like to build 2 more windmills, this gives us an actual engine building bonus. So I basically have 3 things I'd like to build, but only 2 slots. I don't think there's anything. I don't want to do 2 actions at this point. I am still considering this, which I need another food for. So that gives me a military upgrade, which this would gain me a science. Although I don't think it does, because this is an actual military upgrade action, and this is not doing the action. City of Light. If you build a city, you just gain. That's later. I can't do that. If you have the most, gain 1 per exceeding. Yeah, they're not doing well there. So we know we don't want this one. We might want the art collection. To be honest, I think these are the 2 they want. So we could gain those Chevaliers. It's going to replace this. I still don't think we want to do that right at this moment. We got some nice expansion opportunities. So architecture, we know we don't want to use that. So let's put this out here. And which one do we want to replace? Oh, we'll replace architecture. So we'll do that, and we're going to take 2 actions. So what are our 2 actions going to be? I want to get some expansions going. So France is going to expand to this mountain, and again to this mountain. We're going to expand twice to those 2 mountains, and by expanding to the mountains, we're going to gain a production for each 2 production for each mountain. So that's 4 production, and then 2 food. So that was a wonderful, wonderful turn. So 1, 2, 3. I think of Commander Lassard in the movie Police Academy. That was a wonderful, wonderful return. And then 2 food. Alright, so now they got a lot of production. They can start building some of those cities. They can... actually, they don't have any cities available. Oh, no, they do. See, they got 2 here. So another city is now available. And they can start building some wonders. Lots of choices opening up for them. So really good round for them. Alright, now we move to the Egyptians again. They draw their card. We're going to grab our market here. These military units are just flying by. We got the Steppe Archer. They would like to upgrade their Axemen. None of them are... they do have the... I think we were going to do... So like the goods management is nice, right? They get these bonuses if they build their trade caravans. But they've built 3 of their 4 trade caravans already. It would require somebody to conquer the city to pull it back so they could build it again. They could do something like this where they gain science every time they do a wonder. Building wonders is actually something that they took the -1 cost for, so they would like to continue that as a way of gaining culture and winning the game through that. This military science is the only reason why this is nice is because right now they're very weak militarily, and if they do upgrade, which they should do, they can worry less about formations and just get their defense up. I know I keep saying that Mongols have no reason to attack them, but that shouldn't be any reason why this player should just sit here with hardly any defensive capabilities and think that that's cool. I don't think that's a proper way to play. So then it becomes, okay, what are the ones that we're going to play here? Again, I think this one's really nice. I mean, maybe we do it just so we could score the points. This one, of course, is helpful to them because their strategy is to build more wonders, so why not get a bonus every time you build a wonder? And it also, every time you upgrade a military unit, you gain a bonus. And then, of course, this would be nice just because you gain a bunch of resources. But that does count this out if I go with these two. And I think that is what I'm going to do. It is going to take me a few turns, though, to get that military upgraded. But yeah, let's go with the physics first. So that gets them, well, it's going to get them 1, 2, 3 science. That'll help them with their military upgrades. And then 1 science goes to the player to their left, to England. And we do get a action. So the good news here is I can get this after I have incompatible formations. And then once I play this after, then the formations become compatible. So it's not like I have to have this first. So I think for my action, I can't expand. I don't have a lot of production points. We could produce, which is another science. We could do a research, right? This thing. I think we want to upgrade our military unit, and we just want to get something to beef up the Axeman here to replace it. So let's look at our options. We want a flag unit. We have no forest. We're going to eventually have cities. We don't need to worry about attacking across water. So I would say, hey, let's get this one then. But that has a production upkeep. And the last thing they want to do is pay production upkeep. However, it is immune to... it has a bonus against cavalry, which is what the Mongols have. And you get another die if you're defending. So if the Mongols choose to attack them, you get another die. The problem is we now have to pay 1 production every round. And I don't know, like, they're sitting on 1 production, but how would they keep that income? Like, where are they going to get their income from? We already built a lot of our trade nodes, so even when they move up, like, they could move this way. They do not have to go up this path. I think the whole reason I wanted to go up this path is to get that painting. But they could go this way first, get the extra cube, and then come back, because they don't need the 4 gold and they don't need this bonus. And then here you gain an extra action when you build wonders. Like, that actually could be a nice option for them. They got to get their culture up. They're not quite there. They need a lot of production. And they don't have a lot. I don't want a production upkeep unit. That's just ultimately... I mean, I could buy this unit, but then I can't afford to keep him, and that just makes their defenses worthless. So how can I... actually, if you look at all the options, every single option has upkeep right now. Oh, they're so screwed. Alright, well, that's not going to work for them. I mean, I guess you could do it. I mean, okay, if they have 0 military strength versus 2, that doesn't do them, like, somebody with 7 or 8 attacking them, it's still not going to do them any good. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and let's do it. Let's upgrade to the pikemen. So they will replace this one. It's going to cost them 3 science. Yep, 3 science. does put them to 4, which is something. And then they gain a bonus against cavalry and defenses. So 1 there. 1 there. And they gain a science. So they get 1 of the science back. Okay, I'm really struggling with these guys to keep them relevant. I'm not as happy with that particular round for them. Alright, so England. Draw a card. Get the market out. Another one gone. This one has upkeep just like all the other ones. Looks like a nice upgrade for the Mongols though. Which, yeah, that makes it definitely interesting for them. And now it's England's turn. So we've done a lot of stuff. We have a whole bunch of production. We want to expand. If we only have 1. Yeah, I think we want to start getting that city up. So let's do 2 actions. I for sure don't want to use this one for them. So we're going to go ahead and discard this. And we're going to replace geography. Alright, so we're going to do 2 actions. Action 1, we want to build this city, and we want to do it here, at that node. So that's going to cost them 3 production. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Done. And do they get any bonuses for doing this? No. Okay, so 3 production for them. City is built. Cities improve this by 1. Alright, next action. They would like to okay, action 2. We still got a lot of production. I'm thinking let's build a wonder. So what do we got? What's going to help England here? This will give them a victory point. Oh, that's right. We wanted to get a cube. That gives them 2 cubes. And it's nice and cheap. That's expensive. Let's do the cheaper one. That costs 3. And I think I can cover up everything else. So they're going to gain 1 culture and 2 cubes. The 2 cubes is going to help them a lot. So give them the 2 cubes. They have to pay the 3 production. Also a good move. And let's give them their culture. That puts them up to 9. And yeah, so now they can actually acquire military units without worrying about any of the prerequisites, which is fine. I mean, they're happy with what they have, but not a huge bonus. The big thing was the 2 cubes and the cheap price. So very happy with how England is shaping up. Now we go to the Mongols again. The new improved peaceful Mongols. Ooh, a cannon. Interesting. They attack over water. You would think that would have a bonus against cities. Alright. What are they going to do? They have one expansion cube available. That's right, we want to get production and make a lot of cities. We also can get trade routes out. They have bonuses they could get for that. They can produce one production. I don't think they're anywhere close to being able to move up to Empire. Steel will give them production. They only have one more invention left. The printing press will help them. I think they were going to go with guilds, but this or this would give them some of the production they're looking for. This one gives them points if they could ever get their culture up. Oof. Yeah, it would have been nice if they had iron. The military upgrade is -1. Never a bad thing. They would gain 3 science. They do need production badly.
That is not ice cream. That is cheese.
Sorry, I got interrupted real quick. Yeah, so we want to move this up. That helps them, and that requires production still. So even though we don't have, oh, see, we need to have iron in order to get that bonus. So this doesn't give us any bonus at all. We'll do printing press, just because. I mean, we could say, hey, let's just produce twice and get 2 production. We'll do printing press. That gives us a production for them, and then a production for the next player to the left. France is just rolling in the production. Oh, it's been interesting. I haven't been paying the food upkeep, so their military has been 0. So I need to pay. I'm going to pay 1 for the last 2 rounds, and then we'll do this for this round. So I keep forgetting, you got to pay the upkeep, keep the military up. Alright, back to this. We took the production. Their research is going to be cheaper if they ever do it. That's fine. They get 1 action. They're going to pay 1 production. I'm just keeping a little bank here. They're going to get another one of these trade nodes out, and they're going to put it on this guy. Yeah, I like the Leaning Tower of Pisa there. So get another trade node out. That moves this up 2. And then, yeah, they still got to produce more production. Alright, turns over. Get their card. Angkor Wat. See, you just need so many resources. Alright. France has a lot of expansion opportunities. They can build a city. They have a lot of production, so they could build a wonder. Their military is very weak, so they do need to consider getting that upgraded. They get the same problem that others have, though. this would be a nice expansion that would move this up, which is definitely something they want to do. They got their 2 trade routes out. Hmm. Yeah, I'm torn. This is a lot of nice influx of resources. They have enough production, they could just do 2 actions. This round. Need to get this up. The expand action will definitely do that for them. Let's do... I don't know which one to discard. I don't think I'm going to do this twice. Although all the production is insanely juicy. This will help them catch up with the culture. They only have 1 to build though. I'm thinking, I'm sorry. What would they like? They could basically afford anything. Each... Oh, that actually might be nice. Okay, we're gonna... That gives them a science. And they know they have to upgrade their military too. That could be handy. This is just so tempting to just go bang and bang. These 2 would help them longer term, assuming they have the resources to do the stuff they want to do. Okay, I'm going to get rid of one of these, and we're going to do 2 actions. We'll go ahead and cover that one up. We're going to do 2 actions. We're going to build things. And I think first thing we want to do is we want to take the Angkor Wat, which is going to cost them 6 production. Each forest provides 1 good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of their production to do, but they gain 3 culture and 1 cube. And they're going to go up 1 because they have, well, their second action is going to be to expand, so they're going to put that there, which makes them go up 1 because they have a forest, and because they have that, they go up 2 more. And they get 3 culture for this as well. So now they're shooting right up the charts. And we know they need to do this. And they have a upkeep. I'm just going to bring it closer so I can quit moving around. See, that has an upkeep of a production. Man, the upkeep is so brutal. And they can't attack in the mountains or defend. These are the mountain people. So I'm becoming less and less enamored with the Chevaliers. We're definitely not going to do that. We should have done this before we upgraded. If that's what we're going to do. That would have cost us 2 gold to do. Alright, I'm going to retcon that one. We'll pay our 2 gold. Gain our painting. And then I'm going to take a gold back, assuming that I did this before I upgraded. I know we did this this round, because that's how we were able to afford to do all these expansions. So not worried about that. We could have done that earlier this round. Okay, so that's the tour actions. This was very expensive, which very much means we're going to probably build this to get a lot of that production back, and then we can expand into the forest, which makes this go up, and once we build our city, that goes up, and they got a nice income of gold and culture. So France is making a big comeback here. Alright, we're moving on to these guys. They get their card. The market comes out. Berserker's gone. Heavy horse archers. No upkeep. That's what we're looking for right there. So, I mean, the desert is nice for them, but there's a nice no upkeep option. Actually, this is also a nice no upkeep option. It's 1 less strength, 1 more science. Alright, what's Egypt gonna do? We want to build some wonders. We have no production. Which wonders would help them? This could help them. That does not. Oh, France should have built Machu Picchu. Let me think about this. I understand that gave them a nice little boost, but they should have purchased this one. 1 point for every 2 mountains. That is absolutely what they should have gotten. So I know they gotta reduce their culture by 1, which is fine. They drop down to 4, and then they also drop down 1 here. Everything else I'm going to leave intact. So yeah, that's more victory points for them. Better option. Okay, back to these guys. We got 2 of those in place. We have 1 more to do. We are going to do the military science one. So that gains a research for them and a research for England. And then they're going to gain a production, a research, and a culture. So that puts them up to 7. There's a production, and there's another research. Okay, so all 3 inventions are in. They get 1 action. I think they're going to upgrade their military because they shouldn't be ignoring them. They did just grab the pikemen. This one would be nice. It's worth 3 strength over the 2. Gives them a bonus in defense. They are going to lose their desert one, so it would move to look like this. And since this has a science cost of 2, you only have to pay the difference. I know that's a rule we explained early in the game, but they do not have iron. So this is going to add 2 more costs. So it's a cost of 4. If we had both of these resources, this would actually be free. But because we don't have the iron, this costs 4 science. This costs 2 science. So we're going to pay the difference of 2 science. Like that. And we don't have to worry about the synergies, so they get a +1. So now they're sitting very strong with a defense of 7. Then this updated, like so. So they can easily defend themselves against the Mongols if they need to. They did their 1 action. They gain a science for that, for upgrading their military. So we're going to do that. So now the question becomes, do they keep paying this upkeep? They need production for other purposes. Man, that's brutal. If they don't, they become vulnerable. Their armies are reduced to 0. That might have been helpful to them, but yeah, see, this upkeep is just killing us. Alright, they'll pay their production. Because I play all sides, I know that the Mongols aren't going to attack them, but I have to play as if this is multiplayer, and my buddies, even if staying peaceful would cause them to score more points, they're not going to necessarily look at it that way. They're going to just enjoy the fact that they're taking over my territory. So I think you have to play from the perspective that you got to keep your defenses up and deter the nuclear war, right? Okay, done. Now we move to England. We have 3 more turns left. This is, of course, one of them. A desert rider. Oh, that's what they were looking for right there. In fact, that would be so much more helpful because it's no longer costing them production. Yeah, they may end up doing that. So, okay, England has 1 more invention possible. A lot of stuff, some cubes for expansion. Both of these are good. This one has some synergy with this, except we don't. I mean, I guess we have some science. I think they want to do some expanding. So we're going to discard this to do 2 actions. And action 1, we're going to expand to here. And action 2, we're going to expand again to there. Get this bonus, which is 1 gold. So we got 2 of our cubes out. Moved in, took that. We're next to another neutral city, so we can get another trade out and move this up to 8. And then we just got to focus on building our own things to move this up. So all good moves. Maybe expand here as well, and then they can do this card, which they will then have 3 mountains, so they'll gain 3 production instead of doing this one, which they only have 1 city on the water. So it's a little bit less helpful. Okay, that was their 2 actions. Next turn, we got the Mongols. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Nice culture. When you research, you may spend a science to gain a culture. Alright. I know we've been talking about doing peaceful. All their cards are played, so everything's being discarded. Doesn't matter what they are anymore. I go ahead and discard this one. They get 2 actions. That's right. We need production badly. We don't have it. We can produce 1. And every trade route we put out does move this up. We have one there. We have one there. There is another opportunity for one here. It only costs us 1 production. So we're going to go ahead and spend that 1 production to put out the trade route. But then I'm going to do a produce action to get that production right back. So when we do the trade route, we gain a food and a gold. So here's our food. And there's the gold. We put this... Oh, I can't. You can only have 2. I cannot do that action. It's full up. So that trade route does not help me. So I don't get the food and gold either. Ooh. Would be nice to build a city. So I'm going to just do produce. Produce. So that way we can build a city next turn. And this goes away, and then we have to pay a food to keep the upkeep up. We're actually running low on food too. Yeah, we'll have to do some expanding. Okay. It is what it is. Alright, turns over. Grab our next card. Next market card. It's a nice variety of things. That's right, we got France here. 2 of their 3 cards is gonna go there. Yeah, I remember I was debating, I don't know which one to do. We did our wonder, so I'm less interested in this one. We do need to get a whole bunch of our production back, so we're going to do a windmill. That gives them a food. And their neighbor a food. Then they're going to get 3 more food and 3 production. And then we kept the production here. Alright, so we got a bunch of stuff. Now they get to do an action. And the further action, they're going to spend the 3 production they just got. And we're going to build another city. This one. And where should it go? So there's a city here. So one can go right there. But we don't have the ability to put one there. But we do have the ability to put one here. So that's where it'll go. So there's another city number 2. Right, when they build a city, this goes up by 1. They got the trade routes as many places as they can right now. Okay, yeah, so that was their 1 action, and they're done. Now we go to the Egyptians. Pyramids are gone. My issue is everything's just so dang expensive. And I know we could spend gold. Um, they've already done all three, so everything that's left is just a discard. So they're going to get 2 actions. So what are they going to do? Egyptians do not have 8, so they can't upgrade their... They need 1 more culture. They can't expand anymore. They have a lot of food, a lot of research, so they could do a research to get 4 production. Actually, I like that idea, so let's do that. 2 research. You're going to take the 4 production. Now they could have instead taken the culture, which would then let them move their government up to here. That's not a bad option. I was thinking, hey, let's build another wonder and then move the culture up that way. Another option is they do have 2 cities they can build. Again, those need production. Everything. There's just not enough time to do everything you want to do. So this is going to cost 1 less. So I think I'm going to stick with my original plan. We're going to go for a wonder and get our culture that way. So which one benefits them the most? So here you gain 1 for every 3, basically every 3 territories you have. This one, when you do research, you gotta have extra science to spend. It's not an awful one. This gives them an extra cube. It's pretty good. We don't have any forest. When you gain a cube, you gain a food. We don't gain cubes very often, so the 4 culture is nice, but man, is that expensive. That's 7. I think I'm gonna do this one here. The porcelain tower. It's gonna cost 5. Gives them the 1 culture that they're looking for. It pushes them to 8. And then they're also going to get the 1 cube, which is going to help them to expand a little bit. But it does cost them 5 production. So they have 4. Oh, there's 5. This is all gold. I accidentally grabbed gold. I mean, they do have the 5 production. Alright, so that's done. They were able to get it up. So that was action 1, or was that action 2? I know I did something to get the 4 production. What did I do? Oh, that's right. Action 1 was research, action 2 was this. So they're done. Okay, England. Hagia Sophia. Increase government on the same level with no instant rewards. So you could change government and just go 1 level over. Interesting. England has 1 more invention they can do. I think we've been leaning towards the engineering one for them. We'll go ahead and do that. They gain a production. Player to their left gets a production. Ooh, they really needed it, so that really helps them a lot. Nope. Nope. Not yet. Sorry. We're going to do the compass and get 2 actions. Action 1 is expand. They're going to take that mountain right there, and then that's going to allow this to be more powerful for them. And then action 2 is they're going to do research. And I think the cost is 2 right now. So they'll spend 2 research. And let's go to our little research track. They can get from up here, so they're going to move up. And we could either take 2 culture or 3 production and 2 cubes. That's a very interesting idea. We're going to do the 3 production and 2 cubes. So 1, 2, 3. 2 extra cubes is going to be helpful. So those were our 2 actions. Turn over. Now we go to the Mongols. Draw our card. Forbidden City. Gain 1 gold per city that you have. That's pretty good. Alright, so what do these guys want to do? We have all 3 inventions in, so we're just going to discard. So we get 2 actions. I think we're okay here. We do have to spend a food. So for action 1, we're going to expand. And it doesn't matter. So like I'm going to expand here and remove this one. Which the removal gives me the 2 food. And then I'm going to expand again here and remove that one, which gives me 2 more food. So we basically just did a switcheroo to gain 4 food for 1 action. So, and of course I'm going to have to spend my food at the end of the turn to upkeep this, so that's why I was doing that. We needed food. For the second action, we want to build a city if we can. We could just do a produce, but I'm going to go ahead and spend the gold and then the 3 production. Oh, I'm sorry. It only costs 3 production to build a city. I don't need to spend the gold. We'll get this city out, and we can, for example, put 1 here. And yeah, we can. Now, one other rule in the game, if another player tries to attack this city, they get +1 strength for each cube that's adjacent to it. That's, so these 3 cubes are adding +1 to the combat strength of that city. That's another important thing to remember. Okay, so we could do this because this is 1, 2, 3 away from here. And they actually have room for a lot of cities here. So we're going to go ahead and get that one in. That's a good. And by doing that, the city increases demand by 1. Alright. Next player. Draw their card. Draw the market. Chichen Itza. For every forest that you expand into, gain a food and a cube. So basically you expand for free. That's an interesting one. We are on France, where they could expand into a forest. They have 2 cubes. They have 1 more invention to do. I think we're going to play this one. Let's get our research. And then 1 more research for the next player. And then it gives us 2 more research. Anytime we build a wonder or upgrade our unit, we gain a science. They definitely have enough to get a unit. They also have some expansion ideas or opportunities. We know their military is super weak, so let's see what their options are. They don't need to replace their flag. They can just grab a range, and then that keeps their upkeep to 0. So this one requires iron. I don't know if they have iron. I'll have to check. That's a really nice one. We could always just grab the crossbowman, which gives them 2. And then the tower elephant only costs 2, but it has upkeep. So let's look. Do they have iron? They do not have iron. So, oh man. Yikes. Oh, it's so frustrating. And this is painful for you to even watch. Okay. No iron. So that means it's going to cost them 2 more science to grab something. This is 4 science, of course. This was 6 even with the iron, so that becomes 8. Makes this very undoable. So we're going to go ahead and go with the crossbowman for 4. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in doing so, we gain 1 research back. So that was the 1 turn, but now they at least have 4 combat strength. They're at least respectable. I moved the wrong person. I think they're the ones that are 7. And they're 4. Yeah. Okay. Next round. Looks like the final round. Nope, we got 2 rounds left. Oh, that's right, these guys aren't the first player. So we'll do that. Draw our card. This is the final one to draw. We got a musketman. Has an upkeep of a production. Very powerful, but not helpful in terms of the upkeep category. All 3 inventions built, so we're just discarding 1 to get 2 actions. They're sitting here on a science. I like the idea of using science to get production. It costs them 3 science to do. They have a whole lot of food. They gained a cube so they can do an expansion. This expansion would actually help them. I don't know. I honestly and truly don't remember if I grabbed the science for building this wonder. I think I was so concerned about everything else. It would be nice to have that science right now. Alright, so action 1. I am going to expand to here, which gives them 2 more bumps on this track. And then action 2, we're going to produce and get that science that we need. I could just spend the gold. Yeah, we'll just spend the gold. So we're going to spend 3 science. 1, 2, and then a gold for 3. And we're going to take the 3 science, 2 cubes option. Or 3 production, 2 cubes option, I meant to say. So 1, 2, 3. And then the 2 cubes is helpful as well. 1, 2, like so. That sets the stage for them to build a city, which they want to do. That'll move this up and give them really nice bonuses here. And then also they'll get a city, and they can also do another expand. And as you can see, there's a nice option to expand right here for them. So that's what they're going to do. And we did expand on the plains, so that gives them a food. See right there. So they gain another food. They do have a production upkeep. We will pay it. They're going to have to pay another gold. And then this barbarian is as good as dead. They actually have a very strong army. And for that, they can actually expand, because they actually have a cube, so they'll expand up into the mountain there. And see, this was gain 1 culture for every 3 of these. That was when they gained it. So they didn't have this yet. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that only gained them 1 culture. So that does put them to here. And I forgot, they actually have government options too, to move up on the government track. They could take this one, for example, which would give them another cube. Yeah, they got a lot of things they want to do. I totally forgot about that. And that lets them build a 3rd city. Okay. Yeah, they only have 2 actions left. I'm going to have to pick and choose what I'm going to do. Alright, next option. This is the final round. We have no cards left, so the market's not going to be touched. England still has 1 more to do, so they're going to put this here. That gives them a production. And their neighbors get a production. Plus, they gain a production. They now have 3 mountains, so they're going to get 3 more production. So 1, 2, 3. This is really good. And they're also going to gain a science. They only get 1 action. And remember, they're going to lose all these resources. So I think for sure they got to build a wonder. They got to spend as many of these as they can. There's no city for them to build. So let's do a wonder right now. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8, 9 production. So they can basically build anything they want. The forest thing is not huge for them. They do have 2 cities, so they can gain 2 gold here. It gives them more cubes. I'm more interested in just getting culture for them. And yeah, let's do the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So we're going to do this for 5 production. And that gives them 3 culture. And then if they do a research action, they can gain, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright. And then they gain 3 culture. 1, 2, 3. That puts them to 12. They need, what, 14 to be able to upgrade their government. They're getting there. It would have been nice to move this up, but it's not going to happen. I'm thinking real quick. So I paid that, we went up, they only got 1 action, their turn's over. So they got a lot of resources left over. Some of these will be spent on their cities, so they're okay there. Yeah, it is what it is. Alright, next we go to these guys. Their inventions are complete, so they're just going to discard this for 2 actions. It'd be nice to get another city up. We can always do another expand. Their government, I do not think can change because they're still sitting low on the culture. They definitely don't have the production to build a wonder. They could produce. It's not super helpful. They can't do this. They actually still can't do that either. This is not an option. That's not an option. They could do this. Let's think about that. They actually are one short of doing this. They can expand. So we have the Keshik. Do we want to upgrade the Horseman? I believe there was... Yeah, you got this. So they can upgrade this to a 4. These are less desirable for them. They're at a 3. I think they're okay. We didn't go Warmonger to conquer a neutral city this time. And, I mean, we could. We could. We actually gain a gold for getting our trade route back. The yellow player would gain a gold. And basically you kick them out if we conquer this city. And then that city becomes ours for purposes of scoring and other things. I would really like to produce another city. So what I'm going to do is for action 1, we're going to gain one of these. In action 2, we're going to spend 3, which includes the gold, and get another one of these cities out. So we got to go 1, 2 away to be able to build another city. So we're going to build one here, and there we go. So I like that option. We are going to spend the food upkeep there, and I know we have this 1 cube. We can play the little game to keep generating food. They never have to worry. As long as we keep the upkeep on the food department, they can keep their military strong. Alright, moving on to France. They have all 3 inventions, so they're just going to discard. Get 2 actions. They have 2 cubes they can place. If they expand into a forest, they do gain a food. They only have 1 production. There's no cities to be built. So yeah, I think we're going to expand. We will go into the forest and get our 1 food. Which they have a lot of. Oh, by the way, the expand actually costs a food. So basically, it just made the expansion free. And that also means, like, when we were doing our expand and getting food with, so they spent an expand. And these guys lost 2 food. Now, I need to think about this. It's going to cost 2 per city. And these guys have 2 cities. They're okay. They're okay. Because they got 3. Nope, they need 1 more food. So they're not going to pay a food for their upkeep this round. So they're vulnerable if somebody wants to attack them, but I don't think that's a big deal at all. They're the only people going after them. I mean, technically Egypt could try to attack them. They have to go into warmonger status to do it. So getting back to these guys, the expand cost them a food, but they gained 1 back. And I think expand is the only other thing they could really do. They have to spend a gold if they want to research. They would have to spend... They don't have any cities to build, so nothing there. I think we were talking about government with them, weren't we? They need to have an 8. Yeah, they're nowhere near 8. This requires stuff that they can't do. Yeah, they're going to expand again. Pay a food. Put out 1 more cube. Where should it go? I think it should probably go here. Let's do here. In case they have desert bonuses. We'll keep our terrain the way it is. Okay, done. Next, And this is the last turn of the game. So all three inventions are in place. We discard, get 2 actions. We can build a city if we pay a gold. We're going to go ahead and do that. I keep forgetting to spend that food for the expand. That's something I gotta quit forgetting to do. We're gonna get another one of their cities out. Actually, it's their first city. This is the only place we can do it. So we'll go ahead and go here. It's technically there. And then, yeah, we will expand, and we're gonna go ahead and take this forest. I need that as well, but I don't have the ability to. That does cost them a food. I'm remembering this time. And we get... Ooh. They get one of these, which gives them another box. So it goes up to 8. Oh, and then the city moved them up 1. I'm pretty sure everybody else... The only other one I'm thinking of is these guys, because we just built a city with them. Let me recalculate this. They have 2 of their trade routes out, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And they also have 2 cities on the board. Yeah, this should be up to 6. And then these guys have 2 trade routes out, that's 4. And then 2 cities puts them to 6. These guys have 2 trade routes for 4, and then it should be 2 cities. Yep, 6. Okay. Alright, getting back to these guys. First one we did was we built... What did we do again? Oh, we built the city and then we expanded. So with the city, they have 1. They should have... So that's 1 there. How did this get so high for them? Oh, they have 3 of these, so it's 6 plus city is 7. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're good, we're good. Alright, end of Epoch. We are done. So we start here. We gain 1 according to the rank. So in Epoch 2, in a 4-player game, only the top 2 are getting art. And the top 2 are England and Egypt. So Egypt gets their second one. I guess we'll put them on top of each other for now to save space, and then England gets their second one. Alright, next. Gain trading income. So that's this. So they're going to gain 5 gold and 4 culture. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the gold is redunculous. We're just going to grab a 5er here. That's excellent. Let's move to these guys. England is going to get 3 gold and 2 culture. So 1, 2. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll grab a 5er and take away 2. Alright, and then we go here. They get 4 gold and 3 culture. Look at the Mongols just shooting right up the chart there. And 4 gold, which is big because they had none. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And France gets 2 gold and 1 culture, so that hurts them. The 1 culture does put them at least ahead of them, and the 2 gold is still good. Yeah, their issue there is they just don't have strategic resources. This should be putting them at 4, and yeah, that's all they have, is 4. Yep, and then nothing from that. Okay, so that part's done. Now we gotta pay for our cities. So, like for example, these guys have 2 cities. They're 2 food each, but they're gonna get 2 gold and a culture for every one they successfully pay for. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 food pays for their cities, just to make sure. They actually only have 1 city, so let me take 2 of that food back. Alright, so then that gives them 2 gold and 1 culture. The gold is where this is getting helpful, because now they can start spending gold to keep their upkeep and stuff like that going. Their 1 culture moves them up to tie with England again, but they are behind England as far as ties go. Alright, so yeah, that's it for them. Moving to England, who's technically the first player, they have 2 cities, so they do have to pay 4. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for each city, they get 2 gold and 1 culture. So they're going to get 4 gold back. So we're going to grab another 5, and then they're going to get 2 culture. So it puts them up to 16. For green, they also have 2 cities. So we did this on purpose, where we kept the 4th one. And the really nice part about them is they're getting 4 gold. And they get 2 culture. Look at them. Moving right up the chart. And then last but not least is France. Also has 2 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to get, I'm going to grab a fiber. They get 4 gold. And they also get 2 culture. Puts them up to 7. Okay. Convert all resources at a 3-to-1 ratio. I don't think anybody has the conversion one. So, these guys have to convert 3 of their food and get 1 more gold. England. No preservation. So here's 1, 2, 3 for 1 gold. 1, 2, 3 for another gold. And that one's just forfeit. They get nothing, and they're going to like it. And 1, 2, 3 for a gold, like so. Alright, what's next? Barbarians steal. There's no barbarians left. Restore consumed. There's none. Nobody went warmonger. Set up the next epoch. Alright, so next epoch, these cards just all get discarded. And like we were doing before, so these actually come out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no more to draw next round, so this is going to be empty. This deck is just shuffle, 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 and then this deck just goes on top of this one. And just wanted to remember not to shuffle, because those plus ones are supposed to be at the bottom. And there you go. That's setting up. Everything's ready for the next round. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.